ever just walked into a room and suddenly began to feel anxious or sad, but couldn't figure out why? No one's around, nothing's happening, but those emotions hit you out of nowhere. What's going on? Today, let's dig deep into why this happens and how your brain can trigger powerful emotions without you even realizing. I'm ready to explore emotions, what they are, and most important, how we can manage them. We all have emotions and they serve crucial purposes. Sometimes they motivate us to take action and help us to communicate with others through body language and facial expressions. Emotions can even alert us to potential dangers in our environment. For instance, that gut feeling could be telling you that something is off, even when you can't really put your finger on exactly what it is. So let's talk about the science. Your brain plays a massive role in how you feel. Specifically, 3 key areas: the amygdala, say it with me, amygdala, the prefrontal cortex, and the hippocampus, rhyming with hippopotamus. Okay, we'll cut that. First up, the amygdala, which is also known as your brain's emotional alarm system. So the amygdala is responsible for the popping off of the things, okay? Imagine this, but don't imagine too hard. That you're walking down a busy street and suddenly out of nowhere, a car comes dangerously close. Before you even know it, the amygdala kicks in, flooding the body with adrenaline so you can jump out of the way. The amygdala acts as an instinct, no logic, pure instinct. The amygdala also links emotions to memories. Have you ever seen someone and instantly feel tense because they remind you of a bad experience? That tension, that's your amygdala, associating certain faces or situations with past emotions. But there's more. The amygdala doesn't work alone. The hippocampus helps to add context to your emotions. Let's just say you had a tense dinner with people who grilled you on your political views. Then months later, you see them and begin to feel uneasy. Well, your hippocampus is reminding you of the unpleasant experience from the past. But it also helps you to consider that this time might be different. You may think that, okay, well, they may be different now. It's a different setting, a new day. Now, I don't know how functional your prefrontal cortex actually is or whether or not it's impaired, but what I will say is that the prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that helps you think things through. That must be the last part of the brain to develop in my family, because your prefrontal cortex is supposed to evaluate the situation and consider outcomes and then tell your amygdala whether to chill or stay alert, aka pop off. Me personally, my amygdala is overdeveloped while my prefrontal cortex is a late bloomer, okay? But anyway, the prefrontal cortex is your brain's voice of reason. The prefrontal cortex is gonna help you to regulate all of those emotions, okay? So what happens when things go wrong? Well, early trauma, chronic stress, those 2 things right there is what can make that amygdala overactive. So for me, clearly, I have experienced some trauma and chronic stress. But it's okay because we're gonna get that prefrontal cortex spinning and flowing. Just keep living. So what happens when the amygdala is overactive? It is going to drown out and take over the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, which is what leads you to feeling overwhelmed by these emotions, okay? And when you're in this state, you're unable to think through a thing. You're unable to think your way through a situation. Now, studies show that this is common in people who have PTSD. This is where the amygdala, PTSD is when the amygdala is taken over. That's when the amygdala takes over, okay? It's gonna make it hard for you to separate the past from the present. All of the trauma is just egging on the amygdala. At this point, The trauma, the chronic stress, and the amygdala is having a conference, washing away any sign of the prefrontal cortex or the hippocampus where the reasoning is, where the calmness is, okay? So we need to get these three balanced. So I have good news. Your brain is incredibly resilient. Come on now. Girl, did you know the hippocampus can grow new neurons? We're talking about science now, okay? I'm getting emotional. It's my amygdala. We gotta grow more neurons. Your hippocampus can grow more neurons. It's true. The process is called neurogenesis. Yeah, like the Bible, Genesis, beginning, neuro. We're getting ready to bring in some new, neurons. This is gonna help you to regain control, okay? Keep in mind that a healthy lifestyle, exercise, proper diet, we're not gonna ever leave that out, plays a big role in being able to grow these neurons and get back balanced. And learning a new skill can also help. So we're learning how to manage our emotions, regardless of the imbalance. Because once you're aware of this imbalance and you understand what your brain is doing, you can be more prepared to grow some more neurons, okay? We need new neurons because our brains need to be able to manage stress, ma'am. So if you're ready to explore tools and strategies on managing emotions and beginning to thrive in your life and be your true self without everything knocking you off your square, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. I'm Coach Shayla Ma'at. I'm going to be posting more and more videos on emotional intelligence because it is so important. The mind is all, the universe is mental, per the Hermetic principles. So just remember, life is a gift, and what you do with your life is your gift back. So show appreciation by being mindful and doing the work so you can have that inner peace and that balance. By the way, Ma'at means balance. So remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with other people so they can learn about this hippocampus, you know what I'm saying, and the brain, okay? We can all work together to get our brains together because we all have the same organ. So they're all made up the same way. So now let's learn some skills so that we can properly process our emotions. And watch this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Check out the description box for my freebies and the link to the Ma'at Portal podcast, book club, and private Facebook group. Remember to subscribe, thumbs up the video, and follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Coach Shayla Ma'at.